completely harmless to the guitar.
That's okay.
So, yeah, I'm a YouTuber and this is my channel supporters. So,
There you go. Are you recording?
a little bit different.
All right.
Okay, so, yeah, I tend to get stage fright, so we'll see how this goes.
So how have you dealt with it? Let's just start there.
I breathe in from one nostril, and then I breathe in through the other. I mean, I just learned that from you, know, joking.
Yeah,
But,
I know.
I do, yeah. I have learned box breathing before in the past. Like you breathe in, hold
Hold it.
that,
Mm-hmm.
let it go more slowly. Yeah, just try to take a breath before. I forgot to mark in like a big breath as a reminder at the beginning. And yeah,
Do this for me.
a little bit, yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So now this is something that David Russell told me. Put all the fingers, like if you're gonna do a tremolo,
Mhm.
on the same string.
All.
Yeah, all of them.
Mhm.
And you can find out your value. You see how your eye
Yeah,
finger is
eye
sticking?
fingers.
So the most important thing that you need to understand that when you're on the stage, nobody's rushing you to start. I mean, this is an exaggeration, and I'm not suggesting that you need to do this, but Yamashita once, like it was like 15 minutes before he even touched a note in the Gran Teatro di Parma. I was there, and then he's like, he got sat down, and everybody quiet. He tuned, and then he put the hand down. 1 minute passed, and people were by the third minute, people were talking like, what's happening, right? The guy did not move 1 inch until he was ready to start. So I want you to do that now as an experiment, because I know if you start now, you're gonna be stumbling all over. I want you to just take your time, breathe, and don't start until you feel that you have gained a little bit more control, and you feel the room, the energy. There's one thing that is true. People that come and pay for a concert, they don't want to come and see you like, flopping all over. They all rooting for you because that's their money's worth.
Yeah.
They want to have a good experience. So it's us that put that whole situation in which you put under pressure, far more than what you actually should. So having bananas
Oh.
help. Bananas have natural potassium with lower. It's like a natural beta blocker. But in order for you to have like a beta blocker in bananas, you need to eat like at least 25 bananas, which I don't recommend. But it helps. It helps also the comfort that if you have bananas, it does help you get calm. So if I'm a little bit on the edge, having a couple bananas, like 10 minutes before and then 5 minutes before the performance can help take the edge off. However, there's no enough bananas on this world if you are not ready to play. If the piece is not ready to play. If there are spots in the piece that are still yet unresolved. When you get there, that's gonna create a huge anxiety and therefore you're gonna have a problem. So, not yet, your thumb is I'm watching you from the side, your thumb is still trembling.
It's
I
so
need
much
you,
better.
but I need you to actually breathe. Breathe and find your groove. You know Barbara Streisand, the singer? What do you think she has a couch, a lamp, every time she sings? Like she tries to make something like comfortable to home and feel less like a stage, because she actually suffers from stage fright. Elvis Presley was a nervous wreck every time, and he had to have people reassuring, "You're the greatest," blah blah blah, all the time, everyone around him. Martha Argerich, famous pianist. Look at her documentary. Before playing, she's like, "Oh my God, I don't know what am I doing. Why am I doing this to myself? This is just like not." And then she sat down on the piano, and a monster is born. Every time she gets on the stage. Manuel Barreto. Manuel is terrified of performing. Terrified. Like terrified. And we just learn how to deal with some of these things. Again, as I mentioned before, you practice knowing your symptoms of what usually happens when you get nervous. I lose slurs, or I lose this, I lose that. Some people tend to drink a little bit of wine. I wouldn't necessarily advise that you have to go that route, but what happens is like it adds a little bit as an inhibitor, so you get a little bit more relaxed. If you drink too much, maybe too relaxed, and that's not good. You want to have a little bit of an edge. I'll tell you something. I have played 3 concerts in my life in which I didn't get. Put your hand. All of this is giving you time. All this stuff that I'm doing is giving you time so you can actually calm down and relax. 3 times in my life that I played a concert in which I was not nervous at all. One of them, it was a concert I did on 92nd Street Y in New York, and it was a big deal, so I was super ready. And I just, if I tell you what I played in that concert, I cannot remember. I know because I have a recording of it, but I remember going on the stage tuning, and it's a big blur. I don't remember anything else until the very end of the concert, because I was so much of the song that nothing else mattered. And I revisit this experience. What did I do? I ate spaghetti at 6 o'clock, and I tried to do exactly the same thing I did that day, and it doesn't work that way. I've been trying to recreate that experience. I mean, other 2 times it happened, I did this, there's this breathing, one of the things that Ben Murray taught me at Yale is this breathing machine that is called a breath builder. And the breath builder has a ping pong ball attached to it that you need to breathe, and then it pushes the ball, and then your goal is not to let the ball drop, so you need to breathe constantly.
Spirometer.
Exactly. Say it again?
Incentive spirometer.
Incentive spirometer.
And if you're having surgery, they call
At the beginning, you're gonna hyperventilate because you're gonna breathe way too much. But then eventually you realize how little you actually need to keep the ball just there. And what it teaches you is to breathe constantly through the difficult passages too. And that time was in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I played a concert with the symphony there, and I remember someone said, the breath builder does help. Like, it does help. You have to breathe enough for it to for you have enough blood oxygen in your bloodstream to keep you calm. It really does help. If you do tons of that, I guarantee you have a little bit of headache at the beginning, but it will get you to be less nervous. Like, guaranteed.
Rene, there's another technique called pursed lip breathing, where you breathe in and you push out from your diaphragm.
Which it makes a slow release.
Yes.
I see.
And it increases
There you go.
capacity.
See, another tip, I didn't know that. Thank you for that. What's the name of that again?
It's called pursed lip breathing.
Pursed lip breathing. Okay. So yet another tool in the chest. Not yet.
This helped me so much. Thank you.
See, now do this.
Yeah, so much more. Still, I mean, my
No,
hand
but
won't
now he
work.
can control. Now he's starting into the neighborhood of like, now if I play, I mean, I don't know yet, like, because it depends of like, for example, how careful he was with right hand preparation. So the hand is not floating, so the fingers are in the string, so you have contact point, good fingerings, etc., etc. I don't know yet. I haven't heard John play ever. So I'm about to listen to it, but the idea remains that if you're not in control at the beginning and you rush into that, you know it's not going to go well. You need to go to an area of like, even if people wait. And to finish my story about Yamashita, after everybody was getting really on nerve, 15 minutes, then he started playing and it was just magic. You know? When you are in the stage, you're king of the hill. Nobody has to rush you. There's no need to just start. You start when you feel ready. Sarita Montiel, very famous Cuban singer, she will not start acting or singing until she get like she was very spiritual and she loved him, like she believed in African religion, magic things. So she will, until the santo, the spirit, wouldn't come down to her, she wouldn't start singing, which is an equivalent of getting time, feeling the room, calming yourself. It's the same idea. You can call it whatever you call it. Her case was this: until the spirit dance on me, I won't start. And she will be there, like, won't start the concert until things were right, until it felt right. And then what happens, as you get a better positive experience with performing, then it stops being a threatening experience, and then you get up, you become a little bit more learning how to deal with it, and better results constantly, which it fits into itself, and then makes you play better. Again, none of this works if you're not properly prepared. You know, that is not no substitute for that. Okay?
Excellent. Thank you so much. I feel so much more prepared and ready to start than ever before. Thank you.
Are you?
Yeah, for a stage, for being on stage, at least.
Let me see.
My hand would always tremble even if I'm completely
Breathe.
calm. Like,
Just breathe.
I feel like, yeah, to some degree it's just my hand, I guess.
Mm-mm. Breathe.
Yeah, it's more still.
There you go.
Look at that.
So if you're thinking that it's just me and I cannot fix it, then you won't be able to fix it. You won't be able to change it. It starts right here. If you are convinced that you're not going to change it, then no matter what I tell you, you won't change it. These are things that work. You just need to find your own routine that works. And then that will become much of a habitual thing. Then next thing is don't play pieces that are way above what you can control. Know what you can play, because he probably can play Concerto Aranjuez when he's in his restaurant, you know, practicing, or in the living room, you know. Can he control on the stage? That's what your barometer is. That's what your measure line is. What can I control on the stage? You know? Because that's what only gonna feed that whole thing that I said, that a positive experience with performing. Because if I will ask him to play a piece that the very first or second piece that he learned in classical guitar, he probably, even when he's very nervous, he'll be able to control it because he feels like, oh, I can do this piece standing on my head. And then when that happens, then you feel less threatened. And then you therefore less nervous, and everything else works in that direction.
Thank you so much.
You're not ready yet.
Okay.
You're not ready yet. You're almost there. And then my question, for example, right there at the beginning, you see how your thumb is in third string?
Yeah.
What's the first bass that you play?
So yeah, I've enjoyed having it there and then move it down, but that's an alternative.
That's a room for error, right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Let's start. Let's put it on third.
Okay.
Go ahead and play.
Like actually go into the
Yeah.
real piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
See? Already a problem. In between doing it. I am, and then moving the thumb. That's a problem in there that I don't need to have. The thumb can be already on fifth string, and then he doesn't have to deal with that. Why he likes it on third string? Because that is a relaxed stage of the hand, when the thumb is closer to the rest of the fingers. But if that's gonna make you move in the middle of the passage to reach the bass, that's, you're creating yourself a problem right there. And then on top of that, you're gonna be nervous at the beginning, because we all are. I'm not saying more nervous or less nervous. You're gonna be nervous at the beginning. And actually, I will change the word nervous for, what did I? I'm trying to think in English. Like ready. I'm not nervous, but I'm ready. I'm looking forward. It's just like I want to share. I want to be able to do this. Versus there are other people that have different things. So I'm nervous. So what? Nothing is gonna happen. You're gonna play. Your life will continue no matter what. It's important not to define ourselves to what we are able to do with our instrument. That doesn't make you, John, a better or a worse person. It's not your identity. It's just one more thing that you do. So it's important to understand that. Like, it's not because you're always putting all that pressure upon, like, oh, I practice this and I want it to be like perfect. No, perfection doesn't exist. Listen to Haydn concerto, Jacqueline Dupre. She makes a big run note in there, but they released that recording because everything else in the project is just so magnificent. That it doesn't matter that she made that mistake because it's human. Right now, every CD, you know how much? Don't record this. Just breathe. You're not breathing. Breathe. Not from the chest, from the diaphragm. Breathe. Breathe, breathe. Breathe. See how you stop breathing? Keep breathing. Breathe. 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 There you go. Keep breathing. Breathe. Put your hand up.
Yeah, yeah,
Breathe.
there's some.
Breathe. 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 So how did that go for the first time you played today and in public? How would you compare that to what usually can go?
Yeah, a lot more tense, but I can do it pretty well at home. But I'm overall quite happy with it, honestly.
Yes, you were able to play it
Yeah.
through and then like that. Now, there are several things in there which fingering wise, like he's not preparing right hand properly, and then therefore the hand is on the air, and there are a lot of things that can increment that issue of feeling unsecure in the stage. If you don't address them, they will still be there. It's just that when you are not as in a stressful situation, they're not as big of an impact because you're calm, you can control it. But that's not what's happening when you're playing in front of 300 people. By the way, it's a lot harder to play only one piece than an entire concert, let's say, because in one piece you enter cold, you finish cold, you don't have time to settle in, you don't have time for anything else. Also, it's a lot more personal when you play for a bunch of guitarists than when you play for 5,000, 10,000 people. I have played, and it becomes so impersonal when you have, like, I played in Montreal in this concert outside, Concerto Aranjuez, and it was like, you know, people sitting everywhere, like, I don't know, 5, 10,000 people, and it became so impersonal because you don't know anyone there. It's just like, all right, it doesn't matter. It could be 1, it could be 5,000. The difference makes, there was a wrong harmonic that you were doing play. No, not in there, but I just tell you to start from there. Go ahead from here. see there, I need you to have one hand to be just pretty much automatic, and then you're focusing only on the right hand movement. You know, you're trying to do both. It's like watching a game of tennis and doing this. You know, you won't get either hand. You're bound to miss one of them. Go ahead. Oops. Come on. See, you know, you need to know that. That's that. So what happens in that passage is he's trying to take care of both. It's like when I was doing Tarrega yesterday. You know the variation. I cannot think of this hand. I can only think of one at a time. And you cannot be focusing on your left hand because the right hand has to be more accurate. Here, I just need to be able to do that without even a question. So do your left hand.
I usually pluck with a finger.
Go ahead. See, you don't know it. Okay, again. No, wrong note.
Okay.
Now let's talk business, you know. He wants to not be nervous. And what happens? This part is an unresolved issue. Then what's gonna happen when he's in the stage? He's gonna be stopping in the middle of the passage trying to look for both hands. And it's not gonna be good. Or it's not gonna be pleasant. Even if he lands every single note, he won't be at ease, which at the end adds to the stress. When he started playing the piece, he was not as nervous. When he finished, he was on the edge. Why? Because there are parts through there that are not resolved. And then little by little, you start crippling back in that. Can you play now with the harmonics? See? What are your
Right
notes?
now, yeah, let me breathe for just a second.
Yeah, I'm not rushing you. You can even do it super slow. You can even look at the music. I'm not asking you to do it by memory. I'm asking you, I want the left hand to be there.
Doing it slow right now is challenging me.
I know. Why challenges? Because you lose the continuity of the finger motion, and then you're put into question if you actually do know the piece. It's okay. I don't try to put you in a uncomfortable position. This is just a fact. I'm trying to bring down the facts so you can deal with them. It's sort of like saying, that was great, John. Do it again. This was beautiful. Yes, that works to some extent, but like only when you have actually addressed the problems. Then you can do positive reinforcement. I can't look at myself in the mirror and say, you're beautiful and skinny. If I keep going into the fridge at 12 a.m. eating a truckload of food before I go to bed. You know that doesn't work. You can do positive reinforcement only when I put myself into the position of not going to the fridge and be like, open the fridge and no, don't do that, and then close it. Otherwise, the scale is going to be exactly the same in the morning. You know, let's not fool ourselves. Okay, now left hand by itself. Okay, again, yes.
So I think
What are your notes?
Right, I was going to say G sharp here is the one that
Start,
I'm missing.
start.
So D, E, C
So
sharp.
I will do,
E.
for example, I wouldn't think of the entire three notes, I would think of the first one. Re, do, ti, la, fa, mi, re. Go ahead.
D, C sharp.
But play
E,
and say it.
D,
C sharp,
E,
A,
F,
F, no, D sharp.
F, yeah, F sharp, E, D.
D. Go ahead, again.
D, C sharp, B, A, F sharp,
F, but a G natural.
sharp.
Think of that.
Yeah, it's F sharp to G natural.
Yes,
That's,
there's not, like, what key are you?
A.
No, you are in the key, and change in there. That's a key change.
Oh, it is a key change.
Yes. What key are you now?
I'm
sorry?
D and D.
Correct. Do you have G sharps in D?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's yet another. I mean, I'm asking you to think. So he actually consciously think of that. So he understands. No G sharp, and he won't forget that. But if I say like, repeat it until I'm trying to memorize it, it's 1, 2, but rather a single logic. For memory, knowing the names of the notes, knowing harmony, knowing the form, all of that addresses also memory. Not one single aspect, finger memory. Finger memory is useful, we use all the time, but it's not the only tool you have. Again, go ahead. Okay, now do that again. Now, you think it's a good fingering. First of all, these. That's not a good fingering. He's hopping. First, second, he's gonna cut this note. You know? Versus this. So, now if you're gonna do this fingering, maybe this. See what I mean? No shifting. Why? He's gonna finish in 5th position. Why are you gonna go from 5th to 7th to Belga? Why? Because he's counting with his strong leading finger I. And he's counting with that, but he's creating more problems on that. Again, let's call it things what they are. Then I can do 1, 4, 1, 4, 3, 4. Then everything is there. Then 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2. It's 0. This is also not gonna work. Why? Because a slur is pulling you away of the direction that you need to finish on the 3rd string. See there? It's out of place. If you do this, no problem. Yeah, there. I'm not saying that you have to do it now, but you need to find a better finger for that.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that it has to be that one. It could be all 1st string. There.
Absolutely.
Okay? Oh. Yeah. Also could be this. You know what I mean? That's shifting. 2 strings. And maybe not because you have to do the harmonics. Let's keep this row. Let's keep this row. There you go. Then I can worry about this and I not have to be thinking in both hands. Okay? Now, do it with your finger because I want to punch you the wrong note. Breathe, John. Continue. Breathe. Continue.
Oh, continue from that.
Yes.
I see.
I need to play the section. No, that's the wrong bass.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, look at it. Yes.
Isn't it a D?
That's perfect. I didn't say that was the wrong bass. Continue. Hey, you
Yes,
keep playing
yes,
A
this has
bass
been
in
an
there.
issue. Yeah, this has been an issue.
Why is that an issue? Because you're doing finger memory. What's the melody? What's the harmony there?
100%.
What is the melody? What is the harmony?
I'm not sure.
Well,
yeah.
we have
That's
a
an
problem.
issue.
Houston,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
a problem. Go ahead.
It's
Go
a
ahead.
D major. Yes. D major. So.
Still D major chord. Exactly. So no A bass. You have the
Right,
the the root position. If you do that, then you will never play an A there again. If you're thinking finger memory, then that can come back. So you did that several times.
Yes.
Now, let's go to the very beginning. See that fingering right there? You're doing A finger, IMA, back. Why don't you put PIM? No.
And for,
Here.
I've wondered about that.
Play,
I think, okay.
play. See what I mean? His fingering is hopping constantly back versus maintaining control of position. See here? Then right now you're doing all kind of. I'm not saying that it's not a bad fingering. I'm saying that in a stressful situation that is less functional when you are going. IMA there, reach the entire hand out of position, and what is the next note that you need to play?
An A.
First string.
Oh,
So you're hopping.
uh-huh.
So watch. IMA,
A.
then I need
I
to
use
go up.
A. Yes. Okay. Yeah, right.
Why
yeah, I
that?
got that marked as a shift. Yeah.
Look, watch now. If I do PIM,
Right.
my A finger is free. And then I will miss because my A finger is free right above the first string. You know, so part of the things that you get nervous also is because the finger is not great. It's okay when you are not stressed.
Yes.
Under no stress, that finger works. But again, that's not reality. That's not, I mean, unless you're not gonna play in public anywhere, anytime, then it's fine. Do whatever finger you want. But like if you're playing in public, that finger is gonna be a little bit more troublesome than what you want it to be.
100%.
Try.
Yeah, I learned this years ago before I started playing in public, and the fingering worked for me. But now that I'm recovering it, I feel that.
Just play.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's not that doesn't work. It's yeah.
Let's.
The next one, you can do IMA, no problem there.
There's
That. Why it's not a problem? Because you are not hopping.
right.
You're right
Okay.
there. It's first string, you know?
Right.
So you don't have a problem. You don't have to do that.
That one should be.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
You understand the logic?
I do.
Because then otherwise you will be hopping with the thumb way too much.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I just don't want you to hop on the first one when you are the most
Yeah, I think it was the symmetry of like using the same fingers. For
Is that
these,
symmetry
but
helping you?
It's not. Yeah,
Okay,
you're
so
right.
then
You're
my
right.
point exactly.
100%.
Go ahead. And you
Right.
do that again. See, that's symmetry too.
Yeah.
Okay?
Would you plant your thumb?
Yes,
or
you can
just
apply,
hand
you can plant it on the sixth string,
on the sixth
correct?
string?
You need to figure out what to do so your hand is not hovering. Listen, guitar is a very difficult instrument, but no, I had to teach middle school band, so I know how to play like couple scales, chromatic scales in flute, in alto sax, trumpet, trombone. Guitar is by far like 100 times more difficult, I'd say. You know, we don't have to make it more difficult than it already is. But also, performing well doesn't come out of divine intervention. It's not like you pray hard enough. It's a complete logical process. You find out what the issues are, and because it doesn't. The whole thing that practice made perfect is absolutely wrong. Practice makes permanent, and if you're practicing the right thing, then it's gonna work. If you practice a thing that works less, then you're stressing the wrong side on the thing. Now, how do I know what's the right thing and what's the wrong thing? That's what experience teaches you. And that's why a teacher in front of you is help you cut corners on that regard. Look, my calling has always been teaching. great-grandparents, my parents, they were all teachers. But I understood that if I don't perform, there will be part of my speech, of my educational approach that will be missing something of what is the practical end of the teaching. What works, what doesn't on the stage. So I will make a student practice a finger and I want him to learn that skill. But then I will tell him, listen, in concert, this is what you're gonna land 99% of the time. This is more practical. Forget about, like, I wanted you to do this first so you learn how to do it, because it's important, but this is what's gonna work for you on the stage. So understanding the practical, and if you don't play, if you don't perform, that doesn't mean that it's not gonna make you're not gonna be a good teacher. It's just, as a teacher, you'll be missing an important part of the puzzle of what is actually doable on the stage under pressure, Does it make sense? So doesn't come out of that, it comes out of observation, careful observation. And and then you'll find all your answers. I guarantee you, everything is right there. And it's not like I got blessed and all of a sudden I see everything clearly. No, I went to tons of master classes, and when I was not performing, I was writing, I was listening. Because the Havana Guitar Festival was happening every 2 years, and I saw Eduardo Fernandez, David Rosso, Alvaro Pierri, Costa Cozziolis. They would come and then teach, and then we had 2 years, because it was a biannual event, and we had 2 years to suck all that information in and try to put it into practice. And then, like, the next 2 years, where are you at on that stage? And then you keep absorbing. It didn't come just because I understood magically when the guitar had to happen. No, it's just listening to a lot of people teaching, playing, understanding the concepts, and then following up, what is the issue? What is my issue there? Like, when you play, for example, play. Your first issue was that your thumb was on third string and you were not secure. Then your second issue, play. The second issue is you're releasing your A and putting it back. Now, I understand that you don't want to overlap the melody to the E, but releasing it and putting it back, that's a problem.
The A finger?
The second finger.
Oh, yes, yeah. I see.
Exactly. That already gets his hands settled. And then what does that do? It will help him for this portamento back. I mean, if I actually sit down and break down everything that he's doing in this page that is going against playing secure, I would drive him crazy. But what I do to the student is like, okay, I want you to come back with as many things that you can discover that are affecting your balance and you're affecting that you feel insecure. Even if you can play the passage perfectly, if there's a part that you feel anxious, or like, why is that anxious? Why is that making you anxious? What in that passage in there is making you feel insecure? If you don't address that, you can play the passage 1,000,000 times through and you still don't realize the core of the issue. The core of the issue was, I just didn't want to tell him right at the beginning. He's lifting the second finger, putting it back, and then doing a portamento. Now, if you don't want the A note on the second string to overring with a melody, then he can play a rest stroke, light rest stroke on the first string, so it damps the second, and he doesn't have to lift that finger at all. Play, no, all right. Play. Now, why you start the slur and your finger is on the air?
The second finger hits the on.
Exactly. Do it without it. Do it without it on the string. Without it being on the string.
Without it being on the string, like here and then.
Like you were doing it. Play. See, that brings insecurity to the slur. It's a 3-legged stool is more balanced than a 2-legged stool. He's playing 4-1, and then the slur is getting the second finger far away, and then he's bringing the second finger in. If you put the second finger there on the A, at the very beginning, you will already create a different balance on the hand. Huh?
And then this one rests
Exactly. And then
this
right there you
would
have
be
the
A.
F finger. Yes.
Yeah.
will find the M finger rest stroke functional that it throws those three of you. You still can do. Go ahead. Now A finger.
A should be that one.
If you do a rest stroke, I would do an A finger on the E.
Yeah.
No, and then keep the A finger. No,
Wait,
A, I, A,
A,
and right there you have it.
and then keep A,
And then you play.
okay.
But don't do rest stroke. You don't. Are you doing rest stroke?
That's right.
You're not doing rest stroke.
I did on this one, but I did here and I shouldn't, right?
No. Yes.
Is that
Done. Don't do rest stroke. And then free.
Free stroke, right? Okay.
Again, because you're playing opposite.
Right.
Let's say that still doesn't work. I will do tia do ba. Then I will do tia do da. A finger, then M on the second finger. A finger, come on. No, start with your fingering. A, M. Because right now you're doing PIM, you're not doing IMA.
Oh, yes. I'm changing that one.
Does it make sense?
Yes, so
M, I, A.
and then now here, we're going,
A chord, A chord. Don't look at the music, it's harmony. There you go, you know it. Again, how well you know the score, don't be a score dependent. Analyze it so you know what's happening. You already played this piece. How could you don't remember that it's an A chord happening there? Because you didn't think about it. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm trying to make a point of how deep you want to know the score so that gives you peace of mind when you're performing. If you don't know it, you always be on the edge one way or another one. If you only rely on the finger repetition and do it like a million times, that's not enough. If you were to learn a verse, a poem, would you just read the poem from top to bottom a million times until you remember by memory? No. You will do it by section, by lines, you know? You break it down. You create analogies that will help you remember things, you know? So the same thing, you need to find out things. In this case, the analogies are harmony, fingering, notes, name of the notes, you know?
absolutely.
Keep the second finger down. Yeah.
And
E
then-
open, and you need to let go. Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
That's an M.
Do use M here, and then, yeah, and now the thumb goes directly to the fourth,
Correct.
not to the sixth.
Don't do rest stroke on the A finger, I don't need it. A finger, M finger,
And then free stroke on this.
but your thumb needs to be on fifth.
Absolutely.
That's it. PIM, play it. There you go. So you remember that. Go ahead. Again, breathe. See how he's not breathing? He's like, and then he would grasp for air. You know what's happening in the passage. We all do it, by the way. It's not like no. Correct. And now, you think that's a good landing? You're doing, but you keep wondering. But like my question is like not what you wonder, but like what have you do? What exactly? Okay, so what have you tried?
I've tried 2-3. I think it's what where is it?
This chord. When you get to this chord,
Yes.
what have you tried?
Pretty sure it goes to yeah, for that one. No, that one I have always seen it as bar.
So the problem is this. You got a
And
reportamento
you have to like swap it
into here.
I haven't found an alternative.
You have it written there.
Okay. Oh yeah. So it's two.
So in other ways, he's going this, landing on the bar. That's not necessarily bad finger, but it's a little uncomfortable to land on the bar. But if you do second finger, then that won't fail you. And like that, we can go every single line, continue now the next line, and I will show you all issues that you're having finger-wise that is not your friend when you're getting nervous. Go ahead. See that again. So finish there. Tam 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 bum. You see, okay, you're doing this finger 2, 3, 4. Explain that to me. Or 2, 3, whatever you're doing.
I'm doing a bar.
Then E open. So you're going here, and then what you're going? You're going into a third finger here, huh?
Yes.
So, what is the guy finger there? Which one is your guy finger?
It's 2.
No, you're not really using anything. You're lifting.
Well, yeah. I'm lifting 3. I don't think I was.
You were not doing anything here like that, okay?
Yes.
So what is another thing that you can do? So he's doing this. John is doing this too. To have second finger guide, but then he's disengaging everything. And then not only he's disengaging everything, but the second finger needs to move from third string to second string. When you have first finger, not only that, first finger, guide, second finger, guide. Let's say no first finger, second. Try that. Again, another problem. Again, do 1, 2 there. No, 1 and 2.
Oh, and 1 and 2.
1 and 2, no bar. No bar, A and C.
1 and 2 here.
Second finger to the A.
And then second finger to
No, why are you lifting?
second finger to the
1 and 2. 1 and 2. This goes all the way to 10th fret.
Right.
And now,
Absolutely.
go
Yes.
ahead.
That's much better.
Now let me know here. All those frets.
Yes.
See? Now play your other fingering. 2, 3.
Yeah.
Completely in the air.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like gasping for it, hoping that you're gonna land that. Now 1 and 2. See? You're never disengaged. It's like think of the string as a railroad track. The train never hops. They're always in contact there. Go ahead. There you go. Then no matter how nervous he's gonna be, that second finger will allow that landing. Otherwise, it's gonna be a Hail Mary, hoping that you actually get it. Does it make sense?
Absolutely.
Continue. Also, the speed in which you're moving. Go ahead. Again. But you don't have, it's just relax the hand. Go. See, there you go. You have plenty of time now. There you go. Don't just stay here. Woo, time to go. You know? There you go. Continue. Don't practice now because I need to tell you. Now, do you think that's a reasonable thing to do? Go ahead. Come on. No, I don't need from there. No.
I'm sorry.
I know. Look, the score is in front of you.
Okay.
No. It's this. And I need you to start from here. Me. With an A bass. Exactly. Find it. I'm trying to put pressure a little on purpose. So you are not like hunting from the back of the passage. You need to be able to start on any point of that passage if you actually know it. Now, do you
this
think
one's an A.
you need to lift everything? Go back.
Probably
Go back.
not, yeah.
Too far? Huh? Me. That's right. Mi, do, do, fa, releasing everything to hit that F and then trying to play the chord after. Go ahead. There you go. There you go. Now that will be tons easier, etc., etc. We need to stop already. But like, if you're not this thorough, or let's say that you thought that you were being this thorough, then you need to be searching deeper or finding someone that opens your eye towards those things. I do that to my students a million times. Right now, this is a masterclass, so I'm giving the fingers. But my student, I would tell them, okay, find me another good fingering on that. Find me another. Alvaro Pierre makes every single student of his find at least 5 alternatives for fingerings, from the most ridiculous to the most logical. What happens that it helps you start looking at the guitar neck differently and looking at the possibilities, and it teaches you how to search, not just read what's on the paper. Most of the time, what is on the paper, depending on who did it, is okay, but like you still need to think what works for you, or how you apply in these exercises. Does it make sense? So I will put him here until he finds at the beginning that he was lifting the second finger, that he was reapplying pressure back and forth, that he was just in the right hand, not organized, the thumb was not in the right place. Even if I stay on the first measure, the first 4/16 note for the entire lesson, until he actually searches. He will find it in 5 minutes when he actually starts looking. If you don't start looking, you find nothing. If someone makes you look and think, you'll find it. You'll find the answers. It's just in the masterclass we don't have enough time for that. These, go ahead.
Let's see, that is this one. Right?
Yes. There, go ahead. Now, when you're doing the last note, I need you to land a little bit on the side. No.
That's fine.
See, that's a typical guitar problem. You're doing this, and then the hand goes this way. You need to think of this like cello. Let's say Capriccio Árabe. You don't do this. You go from the inside of the finger. Then, see this, you have the neck, the body of the guitar in the middle, and then your finger will go down. That will be secure. See that? I wouldn't miss that. And the same happened on the other one that is high.
Thank you so much. This is wonderful.
Pizza is here, and so are some lovely guitars by our friend Jeff